What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, I normally would issue a spoiler warning here to say, hey, we're talking about the behind-the-scenes set footage and video leaks from earlier in the week for Spider-Man Brand New Day, but I am sure, as most of you have been on multiple social media platforms at this point, you've seen the photos, including Bruce Banner in non-Hulk or Professor Hulk form, being rolled away on a gurney and stretcher from a scene where it looks like, and in events just prior to that, he was in full Savage Hulk mode and definitely raging out. Which leads us to two questions. Number one, how did we go from Professor Hulk back to Savage Hulk? And then from there, how did we go from Savage Hulk to full-on Bruce Banner, and what's more than that, a stable Bruce Banner that they feel comfortable enough putting on a stretcher and in the back of an ambulance, something that would be typically too dangerous to do if there were any chance he was about to revert to Savage Hulk. Well, according to one Twitter scoopster, we actually have the lowdown on half of this and know what's going on. We're going to talk about what he said, who's in control of reverting the Hulk, and try to speculate as to why Hulk was in the Savage form in the first place. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel. That's all we do. Thanks to everyone who's been subbing lately. We've been growing again at an insane rate. I can't thank you guys enough. And if you haven't already, I would just kindly invite you to do so. Subbing's the number one thing you can do to support us, plus it'll enter you for the giveaways. All you got to do, be a sub, leave a comment. If you want, stick around at the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so according to this latest rumor, what's going on with the Hulk is this. First of all, he's been banned from turning into the Hulk, given what happened with Captain America Brave New World, the president being turned into the Red Hulk and the damage he did to Washington, D.C. And you also have to imagine this follows the storyline right out of Daredevil Season 2, as it's been indicated one is going to set up the other, and that what's going on with Kingpin, his anti-vigilante task force, and of course his vendetta against all superheroes may be partly playing into this. Now, on top of that, apparently the Department of Damage Control, which we've already seen in the behind-the-scenes set photos and video for Spider-Man Brand New Day, is going to have some sort of contraption or device that hampers or rather blocks Bruce Banner or anyone else from turning into a Hulk. Now, first and foremost, I think the important thing here is that we may be seeing finally where this whole DODC storyline has been going. Remember, they were introduced basically at the beginning of Spider-Man Homecoming and have been on the scene throughout the Spider-Man films. We just never quite know what their actual angle is, what their agenda is, or who's in charge of them. I'm thinking that now, finally, it's going to be revealed what they've been up to this entire time, probably getting all of this tech together so that they can make their own tech, and in it maybe reveal who's in charge of the whole thing, which could ultimately be tied to this quote-unquote secret villain that's apparently female and still hasn't been revealed for the film yet. Also, keep in mind, if the DODC is an extension of their government, the government's been looking at ways to control the Hulk the entire time. Think back to Avengers 1, where the best they could come up with on the helicarrier was an ejectable glass gel. Still, it could have been the events of Captain America Brave New World that was the impetus for whatever technology they had in developing this anti-Hulk hardware. Regardless, that's how they have the Hulk in Bruce Banner form and not worried about him reverting at any point if, say, they have some sort of ankle bracelet or collar on him that's going to stop that from happening, and that's how they feel safe putting him in the back of an ambulance. It's also probably in reaction to him raging out. But that's the other part of this that doesn't yet have an answer. How we go from a Professor Hulk who at multiple times throughout the Multiverse saga has had no problem showing off a Zen-like state, even in instances where there should be stress, and now all of a sudden is going to lose control and help prison break Scorpion and basically bust up the surrounding area the same way he would have as old school Hulk back in Avengers 1. And I think it's fair to speculate that it might have something to do with this technology. Think back to the duality between Banner and Hulk the entire time. It's as if there hasn't been room enough for both of them, and Hulk has definitely felt like he's an other or on the back burner. Now, Professor Hulk is really a mix of the two, where they're supposedly, quote-unquote, cohabitating one body, one entity, one in the same. But if this rumor is somehow true, and before he even turns into the Savage Hulk, Bruce Banner as Professor Hulk is made to wear some sort of device where the Hulk is completely suppressed, that's what might end up leading to him raging out in the first place, or at least set it up sort of like a spring where he's just ready to blow at any moment if someone gives him the right catalyst. Speaking of which, it's been theorized before, and we've talked about it here at the channel, that if Mr. Negative ends up being the real villain of the film, that he's before displayed mind control, and it could be that he mind controls Hulk, and that's what forces him to turn into the Savage Hulk. He then uses him to prison break Scorpion among other villains and create chaos in the city. I know other people have also speculated it could have been the Void. We talked about that in a video real recently, where the events of what happened during Thunderbolts actually caused him to revert to Savage Hulk. But look, Marvel Studios pulled that trick once already already, where it was Bruce and the Hulk and they were having a disagreement in Infinity War, and then the next time we saw him, poof, it's Professor Hulk because of something that happened off screen in a Gamma Lab. They've already done that. I think that this time they really need to show us what's going on, especially considering Hulk is supposed to be such a big character in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And again, lightest of spoiler warnings, but for some of that early concept art that was apparently mistakenly posted to the internet, we saw that it was Spider-Man and Savage Hulk teaming up, not Spider-Man and Professor Hulk. So on one hand, it is definitely plausible with all the technology that the DODC has seized over the years from alien invasions and Stark Tech, etc., that they should have been able to come up with some anti-Hulk hardware at this point. But it is perfect timing, whatever the case is, to revert Hulk to his Savage Hulk form so that we can get that version of the character for the upcoming Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, because I think pretty much, again, one universal across the Marvel fan bases, we've had enough of Professor Hulk at this point, and I always make the joke, I wonder if the Russos would have stuck with that version for Avengers Endgame. If they had known, they would have been sticking us with that version for the next half decade to come. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below. I am all ears as always. What do you think is happening to revert Hulk from Professor Hulk to Savage Hulk form? Is it Mr. Negative or someone else? And how do you think Hulk is actually going to end up? What is his final form going to be? Or will it be something like the original Hulk we saw, where sometimes he's Banner and sometimes he's Hulk? Let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, still giving away PS5s for every Marvel drop. The next one is for Wonder Man. We're also going to be doing a ton of giveaways throughout the holiday season, as well as in some of my other social media accounts on Instagram and my other YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, if you want to be entered to win here, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber. Then leave a comment down below. And because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here, live with my voice and the winning comment shown on screen when there is one. So please be safe and vigilant on YouTube, really on any platform. If there's anyone ever trying to impersonate a content creator in the comments, please go ahead and report those comments directly to YouTube. They are very swift about deleting them, and then you've done everyone across YouTube a service wherever they've commented. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. Find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on all platforms with original music under the name Allfires. You can also catch my band Allfires live in the greater Tampa area next month on November 15th. Tickets are cheap, only $15. I'll also be doing a casual meet and greet right when doors open at 7:30. So come by, say hi, check out the band. It's a great time. Link down in the description and comments. I will see you there. For the rest of you, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.